Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. That's coming up. Today's Christmas, so if you're watching this, it's a little special edition, a little behind the scenes, getting to know me here, Eric Powell at Jazz Wealth. If you don't know, I'm going to go through just a list and just have a little fun with it. So let me know in the comments if it surprised you a bit, or if you are like, no, I suspected that of this guy. So kind of on the Christmas subject. So I have a red blazer, and most Christmas parties I go to, I just wear something and I wear the red blazer. I don't have any ugly Christmas sweaters. I've just never felt the need to spend money on that. You know what? I can wear the red blazer at random things. I got it just because a long time ago, actually. So let's see what else. My first thing that I financed was a personal loan that I financed with my brother. It was a co-signed thing. We bought a boat, and it was an older boat. And I think we got about $12,000 in a personal loan that we were paying on that. We paid it off pretty quick, but the boat itself was not really that great. It was a cool old Mako 20 something foot boat that had a newer engine. But what we didn't know was the fuel cell that was all of basically the fuel tank underneath was rotten. And so then every time we would accelerate, clumps of rust would clog up the fuel filter, and we couldn't get anywhere. So my friends named it the SS Minnow. We would go out and putt around in the lake, but anytime we would actually try to accelerate, it would break down, and it would shut off. We'd have to change the fuel filter. We took it out to the ocean a couple times, but it was always a mess. So yeah, there's that one. Where I grew up, we had a few hundred acres of land and some four-wheelers. And so I grew up riding four-wheelers quite a bit and going out into the woods and riding and having a good time. That kind of struck up a passion for me for just being able to go ride around in big jacked up trucks and mudsling and all these things growing up. And so, yeah, hopefully I can find some pictures that will be thrown up here with this video. But I actually owned a mud truck that had 2.5 ton running gear and tractor tires. I bought this when I was younger and would just go play around and have a good time with that. At a church that we did, I did help do the announcements. So I would get up and actually speak in front of everybody. It was a pretty large congregation. And so I would do the announcements and help with those on a regular basis. And I always had a passion for singing, though, but I'm horrible at singing. I truly just can't sing at all. And so the guy was the worship leader at the time, who's actually now a recording artist, like a Christian recording artist. So actually has made it there with that. But for him, he had told me directly, he's like, I don't think that you're ever going to sing up here. I'm sorry, man. So I would even play around and try to be serious and see if there's anything. And they'd always laugh as though it was just me joking around and it was that bad. So that's to the side. Some people say, hey, make the joyful noise. I guess I just will do that quietly in the shower while I'm getting a shower. I was a firefighter for 8 years prior to getting into finance. I always say that in life, for me, something I like to say is I'm addicted to advancement. And so I ultimately always like to find ways to better myself as time goes on. And so with the fire department, I started out as a firefighter. With the department that I was at, there was a lot of opportunity to advance in the ranks. And so I studied and promoted up to what's called an engineer. They were the ones that drove the trucks, pumped the fires. And then eventually I promoted up to what's called a lieutenant, which they've actually changed the name now to captain. At that age, I was 24 years old as a captain or a lieutenant at the station, which was basically the superior to the engineer and the firefighter at that station. And also sometimes we had an ambulance crew that we were in charge of as well. So it was really interesting. A lot of management at a young age was a difficult task for me to learn, but it was also kind of one of those that taught me a lot of valuable lessons through life, and really just working with people that were all different ages, which I do now, with finance. And so it was a good lessons learned there. Other than that, I attempted acting. And so at one point in life, I was like, you know what? I was actually firefighting, and I was like, I'm going to do some acting stuff. And so there was some local stuff going on that I tried to do. Did a couple small commercials, nothing too crazy to write home about, primarily theme park stuff. Never made it on a TV show or anything like that. And I actually did some print also. So the flyers that they mail out If I can find this stuff, hopefully it's going to pop up right here. I'll get it to Cody to throw in there. I enjoy craft beer, so breweries, different types of breweries. I'm actually on this thing like the brown ales, so something like that are always good. So just here and there, like to go with the family and the kids, and we just hang out. There's some local places around that we can go pop into, and the kids all play. And my wife doesn't have any beer or anything, but I just sit there and enjoy a couple craft beers. And so I'm mentioning that I'm married, 2 children. So I have 2 daughters, and currently 3 and 7 years old. My wife and I got married in Jamaica. So again, going back to the numbers and the finances, when it comes to that, we looked at the expense of a wedding and we're like, hey, you know what? We can fly to Jamaica, get married. We had a little bit of family go down there with us. We did our honeymoon there. All in, this was back in, let's see here, 2015. So 2015, all in, we were roughly $5,000 total for flights and everything, and the honeymoon. So it was a cool experience. With the marriage, so the ring that I wear is actually my late grandfather's ring. And so I don't know if you've ever seen the videos, me referencing that, but I have mentioned that before as well. Lived in Los Angeles. So I actually lived in Los Angeles for nearly 2 years. My wife and I were out there. And when we got married, actually, we were going from Los Angeles to Jamaica and back. And so that was a cool experience for us. But we had both grown up in Florida, and we just wanted something different. I was kind of like doing the acting thing and left the fire department. And that's actually in Los Angeles where I got into finance. And so I always had the interest of finance, but hadn't actually started in the industry yet. So that's where that started. And then from there, I started working when I was 13 years old. And so I was actually working on a farm right down the road from our house and just helping at different various things in the summers outside of school. They paid my brother. So I'm not going to like mention names of anything. So they actually paid my brother though, so that I didn't get caught under any child labor laws, so that they could pay him. And then after everything, he'd just kind of give me some cash. So it was a funny way of doing things. I did that and actually worked for the farm all the way through most of high school, until in high school, I started a lawn business. During that time, I also had some moments where there were a few days a week here and there where I would go and work on a ranch as well. So I did a lot of the old country stuff and really found true hard work though. I helped roof some houses. I've done a lot of the sweat equity things to really allow me to appreciate what I do now, and just helping people with finances and being able to relate with people through all of what they do. So those are just some random fun things about me. Hopefully you stayed with me on this. If you did, I appreciate it. Like I say, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And like I say, hopefully we'll have some really cool pictures up. But as for today, if you're watching this on Christmas, I hope you're having a great day. You're enjoying some time by yourself or with family or whatever you're planning to do. And we'll be right back to some real fin tips coming up. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about Jazz Wealth and how we can help as fiduciary advisors, go to jazzwealth.com. If you want more educational content, be sure to check out our videos here.